Yo, what is up guys? King Vanderworld back at you with another part of What If Senku Was in My Academia, Part 8. Uh, Finally I'm getting over this cold, so there should be less nasal sounds and, well, less snorting in the middle of the videos. Hopefully that should be gone now. But yeah, it seems I'm finally getting over it. Got myself, bought myself new headphones this morning. So these are going to be a temporary until Wednesday, where hopefully I should be hooking up a proper, well, audio rig. So, one of the little professional voice acting microphones. I admittedly got it pretty cheap, so don't expect anything too much. But hopefully it should be better than having to listen through audio headphones. So, without any further ado, let's get right into the part. When we last left off, well, Mei and Senku had just finished up, well, their first date. As well, they had a fun time. It was very Senku-like, but also Mei as well, as he knew she was exactly just like him. Was just as smart and just as well, willing to pull things apart to learn how they work. And this is how it led to an enjoyable day where both of them went through a few electronic shops and even, well, since he was a bit had a bit of money to spend, he even bought her a few presents that she could pick apart later. Some old consoles and some old, well, old parts that you can't really find on the market being created anymore. As he got an invitation to go to Island from David Shield, as it was an old friend of Byakuya before he went up into, well, space. So he decided to take up the offer, as there was two tickets, one for him and one for a guest he'd like to take with him. As he decided to take May along with him, because he knows nobody better that would and more better suited to enjoy this experience as much as he is. So she comes along with him, as now we're gonna go, well, to a new episode. Man, it's so crowded in here. Well, the Tokyo airport is always this crowded. Now he said there should be a guy with my name written on a board. I meant to follow him. As, well, May instantly spots him as she uses her zoom to scan the entire range. It's like, I see him. It's like, where? Over there. That guy that's hardly visible? Silly, you forget that I have... You forget that I literally have telescopic eyes for a quirk. Yeah, that's right. Alright, better hurry. Don't want him to be a bit mad at us. Alright, as they start, well, moving along at a bit of a rushed pace, as the guy that was picking them up greeted them and says, "Ah, Mr. Ishigami. A bit behind, so I can't introduce myself right now. Let's make our way over to the plane." As they start moving over towards towards a terminal, as it's different. It's far out from the terminals they're going to international waters, and even past domestic flights. As he says, "Hey, the flights are back there," and says, "Oh, no. We forgot to tell you that those tickets were just a placeholder. They were just there to confirm who was actually going on this, as Mr. Shield decided to change up a few things." What do you mean by change up a few things? Oh, well, we'll be taking a private jet. As, well, both Mei and Senku are quite shocked and said, "Wait, seriously? I thought that was only in like movies." Well, consider yourself lucky, because, well, you're his valuable guest, so it's like you are in the movies. Zataria, the pilot speaking, is a bit fed up of waiting. He's a bit of a grumpy old timer. Says, "Alright, better book it." As he looks at me and says, "Alright, get excited. From here on out, we're heading to Island." He says, "Yeah, I know. It's so cool. I can barely contain myself." As well, they run along and they get onto the plane as the old pilot's just like, "Ah, you young'uns are always late to everything." It's like, sorry, Gramps. And it's like, what'd you just say? It says, I'm sorry, Gramps. I didn't realize how early we'd have to be. It was written on the invitation. What do you mean? Well, blame it on the fact that we're just the young'uns now. Nah. You're lucky I've been told to do this personally by Mr. Shield, otherwise I would have just left without you. Well, good thing we know him, eh? As, well, the plane takes off as it only takes, well, the jet takes off, actually. And it only takes about an hour and a half to arrive at Island, as it was, well, not that far outside of the local waters of Japan, just off the, well, west coast of Japan. So in between China and Japan, north of, well, west of where Honshu is. For those who don't know, there's like 5 main islands, I think, or 4. Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and I can't remember the last one, but I know there's 4 different sections. As then they touch down. As they get off the plane, as they're instantly greeted by an escort. And it says, Mr. Ishigami, we've been expecting you. 20 minutes ago, actually, if I look at my watch. Please make yourself make haste, because we must leave now. Jeez, things are a bit more of a rush than I expected. Esme was just like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have talked so long out the front. As, well, they start rushing along. It says, why are we rushing? Well, Mr. Shield is actually waiting in the lobby for us. Wait, are you serious? Yeah, he's sitting in the first class terminal lounge right now. And says he should be in that window over there. As May looks up and says, wow, it's actually Mr. Shield. And says, man, sometimes I wish I had your power. It'd make welding and soldering much easier. And also I'd be able to do things like that. Well, yeah, but your quirk's also amazing. And now's not the time to be talking about how amazing I am. I think we're about to meet someone more amazing than I. Get excited. As they make their way up, as he says, sorry we're late, Mr. Shield? Says, it's alright, John. That doesn't matter too much. As Senku just says, John? And says, oh, that's right, we didn't have much time to introduce each other. My name's John Adams. I'm, Mr. Shield's, director of sorts. Well, I'm more of a secretary. I basically make sure he gets the places on time and make sure his guests are well acquainted with the area and everything they need to know. Like I explained on the flight over. He says, oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Wait, seriously? As David just starts laughing. Oh, you're definitely Byakuya, son, that's for sure. You knew my old man? Of course, we used to be college flatmates. Ah, man, those years were rough for both of us. Not because we couldn't pass it or anything, it's just very chaotic having to live with Byakuya. Yeah, I know what that's like. I feel bad for people up in the ISS having to deal with him. Oh, you know it. It says, that's right. I didn't really properly introduce myself, as he puts his hand out to shake Senku and says, let me formally introduce myself. My name is David Shield. As he shakes Senku's hand and Mei's hand, says, hello, may I get your name? You're the guest that Senku brought along with him. And she says, uh, right, my name is Mei Hatsume. It says, Mei, that's a pretty name. Uh, sorry, would you like me to call you Hatsume? I'm still not used to the whole last name, first name thing. Eh, it's alright, just call me Mei. Everybody does. Says, alright, done. So, Senku, tell me, is there any significance why you brought, lovely Mei over here with you? Well, see, sir, well, yeah, I just call you David, and like the whole formalities thing. And, well, as Secretary's like, so bold. Well, I shouldn't say that, so blunt. Kinda mutters and says it's alright. I've never one for formalities anyway. I'll just call you Senku then. Fine by me. So David, I brought May along because she is a brilliant mind just like me. Selling yourself a bit high there. Well, I know you would. I don't think you would have brought me here if I wasn't. You got one thing right. So tell me, what what has she done that has impressed you so? Well, you see, a lot of the designs I came up with, she was actually able to build. Is that all? See, I don't think you've really noticed, but the designs I make aren't exactly normal by any standards. Things that haven't even been tested yet. She makes them run as if they were on the market for hundreds of years. She's like, wow, is her crafting ability that good? Well, let's just say she's the craziest genius I've ever met. It's like, that's right, sir. I mean, I'm just gonna keep calling you Mr. Shield. Whatever's fine. And if you don't mind, can I have your autograph? Sure, I don't mind. John, do you have a pen on you? Here you go, sir. As he signs a little pen pad that May brought with her, as she likes to sketch designs in her free time for her babies to build in the future. As well, he signs it and hands it back to May. It says, as they start walking along, and says, "Well, the reason why I want to bring you here is because I got a bit of a tip off from Byakuya that you're working on something quite extraordinary, and it happens to coincide with my research. Except you thought about something I did not." It says, "Oh, I'll talk about it more in depth once we get there. It's a bit of a secret government thing, so I'm under an embargo not to talk about it." I understand. Gag order. Trust me, that's trying to get my dad to shut up when it comes to anything childhood related. Ugh. I see he's still as Byakuya as ever. More than you ever know. And says, well, I'd like to actually introduce you to my daughter as well. Uh, you'll meet her once we get there, but how about I show you around the island? She should be, I'll let us know where to, well, let us know where to meet, so we can, well, all walk together and talk. As I want to get to know you a bit more as well. I want to see what the son of Byakuya is like all the time. He told me, well, when we last spoke, he told me that you're very different from him. A lot more serious, but a lot more charismatic. And coming from Byakuya, those are words I cannot believe. He says, that man was always good at selling the crowd, wasn't he? Yeah, well, that's what makes him magnificent. So they start walking around as they end up making their way to the destroying robots contest. As Melissa was there watching already because, well, she loves heroes, so therefore she was watching some of the new heroes test their skills. As there was a few people from 1A there, as there was Todoroki and Bakugo and Kirishima, as well as Midoriya. As everybody was, well, as they were quite surprised, as well as May was as well. It's like, wow, those guys? Oh, if it isn't Deku, as she walks up behind Midoriya, says, Hatsume, what are you doing here? Oh, I came along with Senku. Say, hey, what's up? Ah, haven't seen you since, well, the incident. And said, yeah, how have you been? I've been alright. So, you gonna have a shot? And it's like, well, I already went. I beat Bakugo's time, but Todoroki beat mine. As David just says, do you wanna have a shot too? And says, I'm not one for competitions, but I've been meaning to test out my new products. Oh, I'd love to see what you've made. As he hops down into there and says, well, get excited as we're going to show you something new that's never been seen before. As he grabs out from one of his back pockets, grabs out 3 of the super weighted seals. As, well, the timer gets, counts down from 3, 2, 1 as the announcer, says, alright, go! So Senku had, well, altered one of the designs as he made them be able to ricochet. As using his hyper-analytic mind, he threw the 3 seals straight away, as he hit them just as they left his hands to become super weighted. As all the energy he had compacted into a ring, so it would absorb the energy and redistribute it and shock off and bounce off of, well, dense objects, such as the wall. So they would shatter through the robots as all 3 of them would smash through 3 robots each, completing the course within a matter of 7 seconds, beating Todoroki's score of 9. I think that's what the score was. As the announcer was completely shocked. As, well, David was watching from the back and saying, well, he's certainly quite impressive. As he used, he used a special magnet retractor to bring him back to his hand. As they'll come back as he says, oh, I forgot to turn off the weight. Does Midori want to give me a hand over here? As he jumps down and grabs the seals and he turns the weight off. He says, I always forget to do that. It's such a pain. As he jumps back up and Dave was clapping, says, impressive, very impressive. As May was also saying, wow, I didn't know that's what you use them for. I thought, what kind of heavy stamp duty are you doing? Well, I trained with Sir Noda, and this is kind of his main weapon. So, I learned to pick up a few things as well. Not only using my hypersonic whip, but also the super dense seals. As David asked, so, who came up with these? Well, I took inspiration from Hatsume here. Says, you made these? Well, yes and no. I didn't come up with the design. Senku did, however, I was the one that made the prototype, and actually built the replica that he based it off. And says, based it off? Well, you see, during the exams, I was asked to construct some braces that would weigh down All Might, as it would be a bit unfair if, one of the students had to be matched up against All Might at his, peak strength. So, obviously as to not cause buildings to fly away, I made shackles that could weigh him down considerably. enough that he wouldn't cause too much violent harm. As Davis said, that's very impressive. That man can blow away city blocks in one punch if he wanted to. To weigh him down to the point where it would cause only, well, minor damage, that's quite an impressive achievement. Thanks. And Senku found a way to, well, compress the design down into his little seals to have the same purpose, as each one of them weighs around 60 kilograms. Says, wow, that's incredibly dense. Who knows, maybe I might have to steal that design myself. It says, feel free, I don't mind sharing. It's not like I care too much, but it's always fun to experiment and create new things. As, well, they start walking off, as Melissa said she will walk with and show Deku around, as it says, oh, that's right. I forgot we were having other guests coming over. I was too excited about meeting Byakuya-san. If you wouldn't mind showing him around and having him stop by later. It says, alright, father, I'll see you later. As she walks off with Deku. As, well, they go up to his lab as they start talking logistics. As he went into a solitary room as he says, so for the real reason why I brought you here today is, well, I wanted to ask for your help with research. Oh? What kind of research are we talking about? Well, research that will help fix All Might. Fix him, huh? Are you talking about the giant hole in his stomach? Did he tell you? No, I can't tell. Gotten severely weakened from his past prime. It's not due to age, as he seemed to only get stronger from age. Seemed to adapt to him. And I also found out after, well, watching him closely, noticed that whenever he got struck in the stomach, he seemed to collapse down to his knees almost instantly, coughing up blood in the process. And also there's the whole fact that he kind of, maybe de-transformed while I was watching. You didn't notice, though. And I also know that Midoriya's successor, as I'd say that May's been shown around the office by one of David's employees. So as I see. So what I called you here was to actually trying to find a machine that will restore All Might to its prime. Oh. Just saying, I can do that already. Wait, what? What do you mean you can do that already? Well, here's the thing. You know what my quirk is, right? Yes, you're able to turn people and things to stone. And by casting, well, by casting a sort of fluid that's produced by your body, and this, well, the certain chemical, you can crack the stone and it'll peel off the body, like a hardened outer shell. Correct. However, that's not only the case. As you've seen a few times, probably from the sports festival, I can also heal people. Now, the extent of the healing has not been fully tested. Well, actually, I lie, it kinda has. The one thing I haven't tested it on is large scar tissue like that, as there was nobody really in the state that I could do that with. However, I can restore someone from the verge of death by using my healing. So if I wanted to, I could just go up to All Might and heal him. However, I haven't asked him about it, nor has he come to me. So I figured he has good reason. Yes, but despite that, wouldn't it be good to have the number one hero back in his heyday, and at the strongest his body can be? As well, All Might actually popped by, as he said he was going to do so after running a few errands. and says, "Ah, All Might, David, it's been too long." And says, "Yo, what's up, All Might?" And says, "Ishigami, I mean Senku, what are you doing here?" And says, "Oh, did David not tell you? I'm one of his special guests that was arriving." "So when you're talking about special guests, you meant Senku?" "Yes. Well, I came here to talk, well, talk engineering and science. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. So, how have you been?" Well, they just start talking their normal stuff, as he goes and takes All Might for a medical exam, as he says, "But David, what if he sees?" As he says, "Yo, Old Might, or, yeah, All Might, whatever. I've already seen you deflate in your skinny form. I know that you get a giant hole in the side of your stomach." Says, "For how long?" I mean, for at least a couple months now? I don't know. I don't really keep track of it. As, well, All was actually quite shocked as he thought he kept it hidden pretty well. However, Senku, being smart as he is, put the pieces together. And saying, "So, are you going to tell him or not?" "Tell David what?" "That you cannot no matter if you return your body to its original state, you're never going to be as strong as you once were." As David was reading back his reports he got saying his power and body is decreased to a very unstable point. He says, "What's this about? Come on, tell me, Toshi." And says, "Alright, I best tell you. I didn't tell you at first because I didn't want to concern you with it, but I guess I have no choice now. My quirk I have is called One for All. It it can be passed from person to person, getting strong as it does so. That is how I got this power. I was originally quirkless. So, in being gifted this power, I was burdened with its drawbacks on the body. However, I seemed to be rather lucky. I was able to use it at its peak, use it to become the #1 hero, well, in all of Japan, and the symbol of peace. However, after fighting the villain that did this to me, I have no longer held as much power as I once had. I was past my prime. My body's been withering away slowly. And so is One for All. So to counteract this weakness that's become of me now, I passed along my power to the young boy I brought with me, Izuku Midoriya." It says, "No, but I was just trying to, all that time I tried to waste, I was trying to help you. If only I'd known." Says, "I'm sorry, David. I should have told you sooner." As he's telling him how much research he was trying to go towards keeping All Might's power and how he created a prototype that would enhance a quirk. As well, it David started bawling his eyes out as his friend and his one of his closest friends, he was sadly fated to die out. His power was going to fade away and he would no longer be the great man he was. He would be a withered husk left behind. A symbol of the old, fading to the new generation. And it says, as well, All Might buffs up into his form and says, Fear not, David, for it is my for whether or not I shall prosper in this new era, it is, well, still uncertain. However, I am confident in one thing. My successor, Izuku, he is a kind, honest, working young man. I gave him my power because he was just like I. When I had nothing, somebody reached their hands out towards me. I made that power my own. And I am showing, well, my hard work and dedication, the sheer blood, sweat, and tears of training, mastering this power, giving everything, well, everything, my all, to become the greatest hero. That man has, well, that boy, he has just as much willpower as I did. That's why I know, even if I am not there, I know that in his heart and in mine, that he shall become one of the greatest heroes and become the next symbol of peace. As David just kept weeping away as he finally stopped and says, "Are you sure this is what you want, Toshi?" He says, "I wouldn't have done it any other way." He says, "Alright." It still hurts knowing that, well, I guess there's nothing that I can do. Senku just says, "Well, I know I can't restore your quirk and everything, but seeing as you've already transferred it and what you're using is just the remnants. However, I can heal your body so that you don't have the drawbacks of coughing up blood every 5 minutes. I don't think I don't see you coughing it up into a handkerchief every here and there. It's just, was I that obvious? Obvious to me, but not to the rest of the class. I'm willing to help you. If you'll indulge me." As he goes up to All Might, and turns him to stone as it reshudders as the scar is completely gone, as he says, "Now run an exam." As, well, David looks over the monitor and just sees that it's there. His stomach's back to normal. His abdominal, well, the abdominal scarring is gone. It seems that everything seems to be in the green. As, well, I'd say All Might's body does buff up a bit. However, he looks more like a buff old man than anything else. So he doesn't look like a skinny, decrepit skeleton. So he at least looks like a man that has a lot of years backing him up. So I'd say he's halfway between. He's kind of like a more toned out version of when he was fighting All for One. So it was halfway between skinny form and muscular form, that kind of thing. It says, as he clenches his fist hard, as he just says, "Thank you, Senku. I don't know what I can do to repay you for this, but just know that you have my gratitude." Yeah, whatever you want, old man. I did it because this future generation still needs people like you. We need a bright beacon to set the flames in our hearts ablaze. Well, set our hearts on fire so that we may move into the next generation, to the future of the heroes. So if you're not there to help guide us, this society might fall. He says, "You're right." As well now, so they all start going out, and head out. As, well, May comes along with them, and she says hello to All Might, and so they start heading down. So says, "Well, now that you get a proper working liver, How about a drink? You know, a toast to our good old days. As well, they say, well, as All Might goes along with him, as David says, "Oh, John will let you know when it's time for the banquet." As he says, "Wait, what banquet?" "Well, we're having a gathering of all the heroes on our island tonight." So, John, well, John has already got some outfits in mind that he picked out. So he's sitting along there. So he'll let you know and give you, well, he'll drop him along to your hotel room about an hour before you need to go. Oh, and both of you are staying in the same hotel room, so please don't be weirded out. However, there are separate beds as well. As it seems that, well, both of them head back to the room. As May was talking to Senku, as she said, "Well, what do you want to do until well, until we head to the party, I guess." Says, "Well, I'm just gonna go have a shower first. After all, this hair doesn't exactly dry the quickest, so I thought I might as well get out the way." She says, "Okay." And says, "Well, I need to go get some things prepared as well." Says, "Like what?" "Well, I don't really usually wear makeup, as it's just gonna get, as I often wear basically work in a grease pit half the time, so it's not exactly like it's gonna look, really gonna depend well when I've got rubber and tar all over my face. But seeing as that's not the case, I thought I might as well look good for something." Uh, well, Senku just chuckles to himself. "Well, it's not like I really care about that kind of thing. However, you do what you see fit." As Senku goes and has a shower, as May gets out a bunch of makeup supplies. I guess so. As I'll say that Senku forgot to bring a change of clothes with him, so he comes out with a towel wrapped around him, as he's just got his hair down, draped around him. As he was walking out and says, "Don't mind me, just look away if you have to. I'm just grabbing something to change into until we get our clothes." As May says, "Okay." As she didn't really notice at first until she looked back to confirm, when she just saw Senku with his hair down and basically rocking a six-pack. Because I'd have people be like, "Well, he's very nerdy and wasn't very physical in the anime." That is true, however, no, because it was clearly shown that he did have a six-pack. Because he was very skinny, but he also wasn't not muscular at all. Because he did survive on his own for like 6 months, so he could theoretically hold a bunch of heavy stuff. It's just he wasn't very physically, I guess. He didn't have much endurance. However, since he's a hero, he's trained up his body as to try and keep up a little bit with Taiju. As however, he lets Taiju do most of the heavy lifting, as defined by the absolute Adonis picture of Taiju on this fucking screen right now. So John knocks on the door as Senku, well, he was about to change into some clothes. He opens up the door and says, "My, have I got you a better time?" He says, "Nah, just hopped out the shower." "Perfect timing, actually. I was about to go get a change of clothes, however, I don't see this needs to be changed into first." Says, "Yeah, so I'll come pick you guys up about 7 o'clock. Well, 6:30. We need to be there by 7, so just get changed and I'll come get you when we're ready." Says, "Alright." As he handed both the dress for May and the suit that Senku was gonna wear. as he told that his classmates will also be attending this as well, as he, Mr. Shield thought it would be appropriate to let you know because, well, a party's a lot more fun with company you know. As well, they get ready and they get moved out, and so they meet up with their classmates. As well, John's job was basically just to get in there, and whatever Senku wanted to do from there was up to him. As well, both him and May walk towards Glass and says, "Hey guys, what's up?" As they are like, "Oh, Senku," as he hears a very loud Senku from the back and says, "Oh no, he's here." As he starts charging out to try and give him a tackle hug, as Senku jumps out the way and as he crashes to the ground, basically having his face planted into the dirt, as he shakes it off and brushes himself off and is like, "Why do you keep dodging me like that? You big oaf, stop charging me like that like you're some wild ape." "But I was excited to see you. What about your best friend?" Yeah, it doesn't give you the right to charge at me." Everybody just starts laughing. It's like, well, as it was quite funny for other people to watch, as, well, Taiji is just a giant softie. And it says, "You know, you don't look like such a big gorilla when you're actually wearing a suit and have your hair slicked back instead of having that spike you always have." It says, "I know, it's kind of amazing actually." As well, he will compliment May on her dress, as it was quite suiting for her. I can't really describe that kind of thing because I don't know. I don't wear dresses, thankfully. And they said Senku looked very nice. He looked very sharp. And says, "Well, thanks. I was going for a smart look." As everybody just chuckled, says, "Well, it definitely suits you." As people were asking, well, as Deku asked, "Wait, where's Bakugo and where's Kirishima?" He says, "I think they were too impatient of waiting, so they just went in without us." "Those guys!" Well, Chako and the rest were complaining. He says, "Go on, it doesn't really matter. Let's go in." So they started heading around. They moved off to the side as they felt they didn't fit in with this atmosphere too much. So they were standing out to the side. As Dave was sitting around giving a toast, as All Might was up at the stands too. As he was giving a bit of a welcome speech, thanking everybody for coming. As then, when All Might was speaking, halfway through, a bunch of, well, blue electrical wires started wrapping around the heroes as they were being incapacitated, as people started storming through the door with guns, as a man with a weird grey headband and a blackish red mark running across his face walked up and says, well, look at you all. Caught like the little pests you are. My name's Wolfram, and tonight, host will be presented by me and my gang. So, any of you wise heroes who think that they can try and take me down, oh, just relish in the thought that if you move a single finger, as he goes up to a light and puts a gun towards his head, including you, Mr. Number One Hero, all these civilians around you will die. And it'll be all your fault. So, sit tight, little piggies. Because I'm gonna do my work, and no one's gonna stop me." As soon as this all happened, Senku had ushered everybody to the back, as Melissa, who was with Deku, I came in with Deku, said, "Come on guys, there's an exit around the back." if we can, because Senku had realized that by looking around, that well, a lot of the system's self-security has been hacked. So therefore, it was being controlled by the enemies. As, well, they sneak out the back. Wolfram says, "So, Mr. Shield, would you like to show me your way to your little playpen? Because I think I'm about to steal a toy from a little baby." As he points a gun and says, "Move, now." And as All Might says, "Don't you dare hurt him!" And says, "Oh, I'm not gonna hurt him. Trust me. However, if you try and break out of those cuffs, if you try and follow me, I will kill him." It's like, "You bastard!" Oh, that's right. You have to just sit here and watch. As this is where I'm going to leave off part 8 to What If Senku was in My Hero Academia. So, I hope you guys all liked this part, especially my very dedicated fan who loves the Senku series. Quick shout out to you, because people like you make all these series amazing. I will be confirming that everything else will start running on schedule again starting next week, because I'm so sorry about everything, how it got messed up. It was just a bunch of bad luck all at once. Yeah, this recording went a bit longer than I thought it would. I'm planning about stopping it before we even got to this part, but I'm like, you know what, I'll split Island into 2 parts, because again, school night, I can't do this kind of thing. Maybe on a Saturday, but yeah. But I'm expecting on Tuesday or Wednesday for me, so probably Wednesday or early Thursday for most of the people. That, oh wait, no, that'll be Monday or Tuesday actually. But basically, next week I'll be expecting to get my actual microphone set up, so I should be getting that installed, and then you won't have to listen to terrible, headphones, and they can just stay being used as stuff on the bus. But I've been going ranting on too much. Shout out to anybody who actually got this far in the video and hearing me, or just being me on the mic right now. But anyway, enough blabbering on. I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope everybody has a good one. So, I've been the King of Underworld, and you all have a very good day. Peace.